This
is 101.9
High FM.
The higher you build your barrier, the taller I become. The farther you take my rights away, the faster I will run. You can deny me, you can decide to turn your face away. No matter, 'cause there's something inside so strong. I know that I can make it, though you're doing me wrong, so wrong. You thought that my pride was gone. Oh no, something inside so strong. Oh, something inside so strong. The more you refuse to hear my voice, the louder I will sing. Yeah. You hide behind walls of Jericho. Alarms come tumbling down. Hey, deny my place in time. You squander wealth that's mine. My light will shine so bright it will blind you, because there's something inside so strong. Hey, hey, I know that I can make it, though you're doing me wrong, so wrong. You thought that my pride was gone. Oh no, something inside so strong. Oh, something inside so strong. Oh yeah, brothers and sisters, when they insist that we're just not good enough. Yeah, when we know better, just look them in the eyes and say, we're gonna do it anyway. 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 Si so pigelena, si so pigelena, si so pigelena, helena, si so pigelena, si so pigelena, si so pigelena.
So it's goosebumps that I get when I listen to your music. I do. Lira on 101.9 Chaifm. Something inside so strong. And I think so pertinent that we played that song, because that's what it is. There's, Simon Cowell talks about the X factor.
Yes.
And we think the X factor is just the look or just the voice. There's that part that you can't describe. There's something when a soul comes through, when the essence of the person comes through. And Lira, I think that's what happens with you each and every time. There's something that comes out of you that people can connect to. And now that I've heard your story about being depressed, pulling yourself up, having the fear before you released your second album, but pulling yourself up. It all comes from that. It's all connected. It's all connected. And when I watched you, I went along to the Oprah lunch just a few weeks ago, and you were performing there. And even through your performance, you're touching people and you're speaking all the time. Do you feel like you have a purpose, a greater purpose, greater than just the singing?
Absolutely. The singing is the instrument I use to fulfill that purpose. Absolutely. And that's what keeps me going. I have something to live for, something beyond myself, something to wake up at ungodly hours for, something to keep pushing when it seems like it's mad. There's a driving force that makes it feel like it's so worth it. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm breathing. That's why I have the opportunities that I have. I feel a sense of responsibility for it.
You do?
I do.
As if you were given this gift and you have to do something
Absolutely.
with it that you're proud of.
Absolutely.
Because the awards are fabulous. The accolades are just, 9 SAMA awards, etc., are great. But there's a higher purpose.
It really feels that way. These are the little perks that makes the journey of life or the journey beautiful, because it's not easy. It's not easy. It means that, I can see the vision. I can feel it. There's something that guides me along. But it means that I have to be almost quite strict as to the things that I choose to do and what I don't do. Some of my life, or parts of my life, are very rigid for that reason. So awards and awesome experiences are almost like a pat on the back I feel from life to say, keep going, So it's beautiful, ultimately. I really get to have such a privileged life as a result. And it blows my mind. And also, I'm of the opinion that it's not because you're born special. You almost have to agree to be used. I think you have to. And I think one person said, I picked this up on Twitter once, it said, our gifts are from God, and what we do with them is our gift to God. And I love that.
Oh, I like that.
That's
too.
For me, that's worth living for. That's really worth it. And that's how I see it. It's like, even when I sing, because I say God is love. So even with the team that I worked with in my DVD, that's how I chose my entire team. You have to love what you do, because that's God in action. That was my thinking. And if we understand that, it means any human being will understand that language. Anyone will understand passion. Anyone will understand love. And that's how we can sing to thousands of people around the world, and they feel it. They connect with it. That is the thinking. That is how I consider it. And I see magical things happening. But ultimately, we're just doing it from a place of love and appreciation, actually.
Well, I don't know if you ever go onto YouTube and if you ever watch your videos, or if you ever read the comments. And I'm sure there are times when you would want to, and perhaps times when you don't want to. But what I pick up from all the comments, there's so many people go, I don't understand her language. I'm not sure this is when you're singing in another language. But I feel the message, but I love the message, but I'm moved. And in one of your videos, you're singing Hamba. And it's when a woman is telling her man to go, and she's going to be okay. And you see, it's not just the song, and it's not just the fact that you're standing there. It's the way you're singing it. It's the true meaning and feeling. And someone actually wrote there and said that watching you sing the song gave her the courage to leave her abusive husband. And that's incredible when you know you can reach out like that, and that is a huge responsibility.
And I mean, it's special. Of course, then life is worth living. Of course, then you're not just floating by. It's really, really special. And you're right. I get that all the time. And you get people that say, there's the one lady that tracked me down until she found me because I was doing a signing session at one of the malls. She's like, I just came all the way because I wanted you to know I was lying on my deathbed. I was so depressed. I'd lost everything. I'd given up, and my body had packed up. And that feel-good song came on, and something in it, something in the voice just made me changed my life around. And I'm walking. I drove myself to come here. I walked into the small just to say thank you. And that blows me away. I mean, I can't even fathom how that's even possible. But it's only a higher power. That's just when you just like, I'm so grateful that I'm alive now, and I'm able to see things like this through something that I love to do.
You're on your path.
I'm on my path. I mean, it's just wonderful.
So how do you deal with any negative publicity? Because you can't, not everyone's going to love you. Not everyone's going to rave about what you're doing. And how do you deal with that? Because I think you're a deeply sensitive person, but you have to have a hard shell, a hard, thick, tough skin.
Indeed. Well, firstly, I don't get a lot of negative media, but I can get very nasty fans. My Facebook and Twitter space is a place where I allow people to get a little closer. And so you'll get the really nasty people. Over the years, I've learned not to take it personally. I realize it's got nothing to do with me. It's about the person. So it takes a lot to get into my skin. And I'm the kind of person, I'll get up in the morning, I'll have my me time. And that's when I feel I build myself up, because you will have all kinds of punches and things shot at you all throughout the day. But if you've built your spirit up, it'll take a lot to get you down. So I do that on a daily basis.
Through meditation?
Through meditation, to self-talk. Me, I talk to me, myself, and I. We have a great relationship. We've got each other's back. So I do that. It's functional for me. It makes it possible for me to go out into the day and deal with all kinds of nasty comments, but be unmoved, because I've built up that, and it's taken years to become that strong. Before, and this is one of the things that I often share with particularly women in my talks, is when we allow other people to affect us that much, it means you get up in the morning, you feel great when you get up in the morning, and then it takes one comment to bring you right down. So somebody says something, then you're depressed. And then somebody else says something, and then you're kind of elated. And then somebody else says something, then you drop down again.
So your mood is swayed.
Of course. You have
external forces.
You have no say in the matter. You have no idea how your day will go, because you're allowing other people to bounce you around the walls. And I was just like, this is no way to live. Like, I don't have a choice in the matter. And that's when I realized it is my responsibility to strengthen thyself. It is my responsibility to arm myself, to cover myself, to protect myself, and to connect with my inner God. And so I do that that's how I built my confidence. To this day, I call it Godfidence.
Godfidence.
It's my Godfidence. And that allows you to, because people are like that. Sometimes people, because of your own issues, somebody might say something and you might interpret it in a hurtful manner. You never know. But you've really got to, that's why I believe in self-talk. You've got to be kind to yourself, because you can't control what other people say. So I do that as a ritual. This is part of who I am. And it's how you almost learn to exist in this world, because there's all kinds of things that you can't control.
Right.
But only you can control what you allow in.
Wow. Listen, that's wise beyond your years. So I know that you've struggled. You mentioned the struggle, and there's a huge learning curve, and that'll get you forward and ahead in terms of those lessons. But did you have mentors along the way? Like, who inspired you? Who taught you?
In the beginning, my grandmother, just from watching her, and she didn't live long enough to influence me in my older years, but she made a big, really influenced the kind of person I've become. My grandmother was one of the first hawkers in our environment where we stayed in. This was in Wattville, east of Johannesburg, in Benoni side. And, even if we had shoes with holes in them, she was like, you will never, ever call yourself poor. Don't you dare. As long as you've had food that night and you've got clothes on your back and there's a roof over your head, do not dare refer to us in the same sentence as poor. She despised those words.
Right.
So don't make your issues other people's problems. Pick yourself up. Make yourself clean and presentable, and love yourself. And do the best that you've, with what you have. And so she built the first large house in our neighborhood. We had the first fridge and TV in our neighborhood.
Did?
Yes, we did.
Okay.
From stuff that was, her job was very unglamorous, as it were. But she just had such a spirit of fighting. She was just a wonderful leader at the same time. But the older I got, my mom is also an incredible person, incredibly positive, incredibly beautiful. I'm very much a product of her as well. But I read a lot, I'll admit. I read a lot. Reading exposed my mind to things that I'd never even imagined, to modes of thought that opened up possibility to me. Just things that literally, there's a phrase in Zulu that says, which means it dismantled my mind. So if my mind was shackled, reading freed it up.
Wow.
It really changed my life. So I'd say most of my mentoring was through reading.
And obviously, it still plays an important role.
Oh, absolutely.
Make time for your reading.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Singing. I watched some of your videos, that one video, and you're performing. But there's a very real performance. So, acting. I mean, was that something you had considered in an Italiano movie? What was happening? That must have been wonderful.
And I had to throw my hands up because I was just like, really? This just came into my part? This came as a surprise. Let me tell you how I was discovered for this movie.
The Italian consul.
The Italian consul.
Yes.
The director is going up and down from Italy to South Africa, auditioning people and looking for this Palisa character. And he spots me in a in-flight magazine.
He just spots you in the mag.
He spots me in the magazine, lands, calls his contact and says, there's this girl called Lira. She's a singer. Can you find her for me? Yeah, sure, but what do you want with her? I think she'd be perfect for this role.
No.
From a magazine.
Amazing.
So it takes him, because now I'm all over the place, it takes him about 3 months to track me down. And it takes us about 8 months to meet, finally, to be in the same part of the world at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
So we meet in Cape Town. And I mean, the whole time I'm thinking, movie, come on, an Italian movie already.